you're here today. We're going to be doing our box opening together. So we're going to walk through the contents of your box, and then we're going to talk about foods that you can eat and how to plan and prepare for your day. So to start with, in the email that you got from your coach, you should have gotten 3 things that you're going to want to make sure that you print out. The first one is the 30-day program schedule with a yes and no foods list. You will also have a track your progress sheet. And then you will also have a managing your online isogenics account. Managing your online isogenics account we will talk about and get to probably towards the end of your 2nd week, the beginning of your 3rd. So this one you can just put aside for right now. The ones that you're going to want to look at first are your 30-day program. And up on the top it's going to say, welcome to isogenics. Yay! So, and also your track your progress. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is you're going to want to take all of the contents out of your box and lay it out on the table. And so in a classic 30-day, we're going to talk about classic 30-day and custom 30-day. So in a classic 30-day box, you're going to get 4 boxes of shakes, regardless of whether it's Isoline or Isoline Pro. Some of them may look a little bit different than others, so don't worry. This happens to be our older packaging, which they just changed, and then this is our newer packaging. You're also going to have Ionic Supreme. So the Ionic Supreme comes in 2 forms. It comes in powder, in a canister, and then it also comes in liquid in a 32-ounce bottle. You should also have Cleanse for Life. So Cleanse for Life, you will either get 2 little canisters or you will get 2 32-ounce bottles. You will also get a shaker cup, which has samples in it that we'll go through, a box of Isa Delights. Now remember, there's 4 flavors for Isa Delights. So you have milk chocolate with mint, or milk chocolate with salted caramel. These happen to be the plain dark chocolate flavor. A bag of coffee, if you cannot live without your coffee, like me. And then you are also going to have a bottle of Isogenic snacks, a bottle of Isoflush, and a bottle of Natural Accelerator. Now, if you ordered the custom 30-day package, which is one of my favorite packages, you are not going to get 3 separate bottles of this. What yours is going to look like is it's going to be in 2 green envelopes, and it's going to be your Cleanse Support Kit. And we'll talk about that when we get there. But just so if it looks a little bit different when you're opening your box, you may either have 3 separate bottles or you may have 2 packages. Just a side note too, if anyone is ever prone to constipation, or if you are prone to get bound up or go into the direction of constipation, if you have a change in schedule, change in diet or anything like that, you will absolutely want to make sure that you have an entire bottle of Isoflush, not just what comes in your support kit. But we'll talk about that later, and that's also something that you can discuss specifically with your one-on-one coach. So, to get started, the first thing that I always have everyone do is you're going to look at your Welcome to Isogenic sheet, and the first thing you're going to want to find is your Track Your Progress. So again, this is not about, weight loss happens to be an awesome side effect of this program, but it's not the primary intention of what we're doing. So we're not calorie counting, we're not weighing, we're not measuring, we're becoming really controlling and constrictive around what we're eating or in regards to how much we're eating. We're becoming really conscious about what we're putting in our body and when. So Track Your Progress just helps us keep track of where we're going and where we've been in our 30-day program. And so when you've had days of frustration, which we all have, it's really great for you to be able to have something tangible to look back on and see the progress that you've made. So yes, you will absolutely lose weight during this program, but you're also going to lose a lot of inches. And so tracking our progress and keeping track of our body measurements helps us keep track of how we're feeling in our clothes and in regards to progress. So if you want to do before and after pictures, I always suggest doing a front, a side, and a back. You'd be amazed at what it looks like afterwards. And when you're doing them, it may not be that much fun, but it's really awesome to look back on. So you're going to use your track your progress sheet to keep track of where you're at throughout your journey. And then the other really great thing that I always have everyone do is the night before you start your program, I always recommend that you take 2 index cards. And on one, you're going to write goals, and then on the other, you're going to write affirmations. Now remember, this is just as much about us shifting a mental, emotional, and spiritual habit as it is a physiological and nutritional habit change. So in our goals, you want to write down, remember, you want to keep these feasible for the first 30 days, just so that you have manageable accomplishments during those first 30 days. And it takes 27 days to psychologically and emotionally shift a habit. So these things are really great in keeping you emotionally engaged during your progress. So write down 3 goals. So for instance, 1, to reconnect with myself. 2, to start shifting less than healthy eating habits in regards to, I wrote specifically, carbs, sugar, and caffeine. And then 3, get rid of my belly bloat and feel awesome in my clothes. And then affirmations are positive, encouraging statements that we can say to ourselves on a consistent basis every day, multiple times during a day, for us to continue moving in the right direction, quote unquote. So the 3 affirmations I wrote down, for instance, are 1, I am proud of myself for embracing change and doing what's uncomfortable. 2, I lovingly nourish my temple and feed my soul on a daily basis. And 3, I love myself through life. And you can read those as many times as you want during the day. So we'll take our track our progress sheet and our cards, put those aside. And then welcome to Isogenics. So your 30-day schedule is you're going to do 5 days of shakes, followed by 2 days of deep cleanse, 5 days of shakes, 2 days of deep cleanse, and then you're going to finish out your 30-day experience with shake days. So what the heck is a shake day, right? First, we're going to talk about what you're going to do every single day, regardless of whether it's a shake day or a cleanse day. So every day, regardless of whether it's a shake day or cleanse day, you're going to start every day with your Ionic Supreme. So regardless of whether it's the liquid or the powder you're going to open up, you're going to take the top off, and you're going to hunt for the scoop. The scooper is almost never on top, so don't despair. Find the scooper. If you use powder, it's 1 scoop of powder in as much water as you want. Usually I use about 2 ounces of hot tap water. You want to make sure that you're not using boiling water, because it will actually kill the herbal adaptogen blend that's in our Ionics, and then that defeats the purpose of putting it in your body. So you can use hot tap water. And then if you're doing the liquid, it is 1 ounce, which is 2 tablespoons. So you can measure that out, and you're going to do that every single day, first thing when you wake up in the morning. And then the other thing that you're going to do every single day, regardless of whether it's a shake day or cleanse day, is water consumption. So one of the biggest benefits, or one of the biggest supporting factors to this program, is how much water you're drinking. So a lot of times we don't realize how dehydrated we are. So it is important for us to work towards or hit 128 ounces of water every single day. Now that's a gallon. So if you're watching this and you're like, holy crap, that's a lot of water. Yes, it's a lot of water. My suggestion is to start upping your water intake. If you're not at 120 ounces or 128 ounces of water already, start increasing that before your package even arrives. But 2 really, really great tips that help with water consumption are straws and rubber bands. So you're going to want to find a container. This happens to be 25 ounces, but you're going to want to find a container that's either 25 ounces or 32, something that appeals to you and something that actually looks attractive to you. I know it sounds trivial, but you'll drink out of it more if you like the way it looks. And then rubber bands. So this being a 25 ounce container, I am going to make sure that I put on in the morning, every morning, 5 rubber bands. And then every time that I finish a bottle, I can take a rubber band off. So I finished 25 ounces. And then I finished 50 ounces. And then I finished my 75 ounces. And then it's 2:30 in the afternoon, and if you didn't have rubber bands on there, you're far more likely to look at this bottle and wonder, how much have I actually drank today? So the rubber bands are a really great way to keep you accountable for your water and to also help you keep track of what you're doing. And then the straws, this is a straw from Bed Bath & Beyond. It's actually a Tervas straw. It's dishwasher safe and reusable. And believe it or not, when you're drinking out of a straw, you're far more likely to drink more. So those are two really great tips for water consumption. Okay, ready? Shake days. So first thing, every shake day, you're gonna start with your ionics. And then you're gonna have your first breakfast shake. So shakes come in packets. You're gonna open them up, you take the tap off, you put it either in your ISA blender that you got with your package or any kind of blender that you have at home, and add 8 to 10 ounces of water. You can add as much ice as you want to make it slushy. My husband actually eats them like ice cream with a spoon, so you can make them as liquid or as icy as you want. And that's your breakfast shake. And then you're gonna have a lunch shake, and then you're gonna have what we call a healthy fork and knife meal for dinner. Now, if your schedule changes and you need to have a fork and knife meal for lunch, you can switch that out and have a fork and knife meal for lunch, and then you're gonna have your second shake for dinner at the end of the day. So, in regards to snacks, so on shake days, it's extremely important that you're eating. This program is not about restriction, and it's not about making you hungry. So if you are hungry, it's really important that you eat. So during your snacks for your shake days, every shake day, you can have the following. So you can have a green apple, all the vegetables you can possibly imagine, with the exception of peas, corn, and carrots. No peas, corn, and carrots. And then you can also have 12 to 15 Mary's Gone crackers. I don't happen to have Mary's Gone crackers. They don't last long in our house, but you can find them in the health food section of any grocery store. They are a gluten-free nut and seed cracker, and they come in a wide variety of different flavors, and you can eat those. And then also every shake day, on top of these things, you can choose 2 of the following items. So you can also have hard-boiled eggs. You can have almond butter. If you don't have almond butter, you can use sesame butter too. You just want to make sure that there's no sugar in them. So make sure that you're reading the ingredients in everything that you're purchasing. And then hummus. So I don't have any hummus here either, because that actually is another item that goes like wildfire in our house. So hummus of any variety is great. You can have an avocado. You can have an isoline bar, half of an isoline bar, or you can have a fiber snacks bar. If you open your sample cup, inside you will find an isoline bar. This is a dairy-free one that I happen to use, but an isoline bar is a complete meal replacement bar. So you're going to cut this in half, and you can have half of it for a snack during the day. And then the other contents in here, so this is our amped fuel. This is a really great thing. So if you're going a long hike or you're working all day outside, if you're busy and you're nonstop, I always have one of these in my pocketbook. It's a really great way to just get the essential nutrients that your body needs during your day. So if you get caught out running errands and you're lost, meaning you don't want to just stop somewhere and grab something that's going to compromise what you're eating, this is a really great option. The other thing that's in here is a stick of amped hydrate. Amped hydrate is our clean electrolyte replenisher. So this is really great for you to add to your water. You can add this to your water on shake days, not on cleanse days. It does have natural bioavailable B vitamins in there, so it's going to give you a little bit of an energy pick-me-up without any kind of spike or drop-off afterwards. Really great product. And then the other item that's in here is our E-Shot. So E+ Adaptogen Blend. This is a green tea-based herbal adaptogen blend energy drink. So this is going to naturally replenish your energy without having that spike or drop off. I love to drink this 2 different ways. One, I will absolutely mix this with hot tap water, and it tastes like an herbal tea in a mug. Or I will add it to a water bottle with water and ice and half a lemon, and it tastes like iced tea. So these are really great for you to check out too. So we went over snacks for shake days, and now what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about your cleanse day. Before you start your program, it's really important that you take your box of Isodelites. So these are the green tea infused chocolates. They do have an amino acid panel in there, so they're really awesome for you too. And you're going to count out 16 chocolates. So this is how big they are. The night before you start, you're going to count out 16 chocolates, and you're going to put them in a Ziploc bag, and you're going to put them aside for your cleanse days. After you take out the 16 chocolates, you're going to be left with 14. And 14 of these chocolates I consider freebies. So I always have one of these in my car, in my pocketbook, in my office. So I always have one of these no matter where I go. It's really great for you to either just pop it in your mouth, break it in half, suck on it, chew it, whatever you want to do. Awesome. So now moving on. Your cleanse day schedule is on the last page of your printout. And it's a sample schedule, meaning it does go hour by hour, but if your day is slightly different, meaning this schedule starts at 8 o'clock, if your schedule starts at 5, you're gonna drink your Ionics in the morning when you wake up. Not right at 5 o'clock, but maybe by 5:30 you're gonna have it. So this schedule is adjustable. And if you forget or you lose track of where you are, just remember or figure out where you finished or where you left off, and then just pick right up. It's not rocket science. It is not absolute precise nutrient timing. So just making sure that you're in the general ballpark of staying with this within the schedule is important. So first thing it says is 8 a.m. you're going to do your Ionics. So you're going to have your Ionics, and then at 9 o'clock you're going to have CFL, which stands for Cleanse for Life. And then after that you're going to have 1 to 2 isogenic snacks with a natural accelerator. Our isogenic snacks, we like to call them Scooby snacks. They are a condensed version of our shakes. So during your cleanse days, it's really important that you stick to this schedule, meaning that you're getting the allotted number of snacks in your body, because it's going to maintain a healthy glycemic index. So it's going to make sure that you're not going to ever have a spike or a drop in your blood sugar, and that you're never hangry. Because remember, this cleanse is not about being angry. It's an extremely beneficial experience, and we want it to be enjoyable. Natural Accelerator has things like apple cider vinegar in there, cinnamon bark, green tea extract, cayenne pepper. It's going to help with boosting and rebooting your metabolism, and it's also going to help with digestion. And then after that, you're going to have more Cleanse for Life, and then you're going to have your Ice Delights. So make sure that you are going to have your Ice Delights on your cleanse days. Then you're going to have more snacks, more Cleanse for Life, more Isoflush, so on and so forth. Follow the schedule all the way through the day, all the way down to the bottom where it says at 8 o'clock, 2 Isa snacks, which are these, only if you're hungry. So the last 2, and this is what these look like. So the last 2 are optional at 8 o'clock. And then you finish your day with Isoflush. Now, Isoflush has bentonite clay in there, which has been used for centuries for pulling impurities out of your intestinal lining, and it also has magnesium in there. This is not intended to make you visit the bathroom more, nor is the entire cleanse protocol. This is just to make sure that you're having a healthy elimination on a daily basis, and especially around your cleanse periods. So if you've got the custom 30-day package, you will have a little canister, a little bottle of Natural Accelerator, which is the brown pills, like Alice in Wonderland, brown. And then the Isoflush, you will also have a little canister, and these are the white ones. Okay? So, now let's talk food. So during a 30-day program, what the heck can I eat, right? So your coach should have probably gone over main ideas as far as yes and no foods lists and things like that. But in case they didn't or you forgot, there is a complete yes or no foods list on the 3rd page of your package. So we stay away from things like alcohol, sodas, cold cuts, processed or frozen foods. We stay away from pork and red meat, not because it's bad, but because it actually turns pretty acidic when you put it in your system. We stay away from all fruit, with the exception of green apples. We stay away from coffee, not because it's bad, but because it actually has a pretty high mold concentration and is not pH neutral. Our coffee, however, is mycotoxicity tested, so there is 0 mold concentration, and it is also perfectly pH balanced. It does also have a little adaptogen blend in there and MCT oil, which is a super refined coconut oil. So absolute best product that I've ever experienced in regards to coffee. So you can have that every morning to replace your regular coffee. So I always get asked, what can you eat? You can eat pastas. This was a great find. This came from Costco. This actually has chickpea flour, organic brown rice flour, and organic pea protein. So there's actually protein that you're gonna get from your pasta. Brown rice pasta you can do, quinoa pasta you can do. You're just gonna wanna stay away from like the refined and the white flours. So here's quinoa. That's what it looks like. Some people don't know. Brown rice, really awesome. You can cook both of these in chicken broth. So if you want to add a little extra flavor, you can absolutely use chicken broth or seafood broth if you want, or turkey broth. Just make sure that when you read the ingredients, there's no sugar. You want to make sure that you're really paying close attention to the sugar content of whatever you're putting in your body during the first 30 days or until you reach your goal. And then the next things, so you can use, this is my favorite coconut milk. This is Califia coconut almond milk. You can use this during your 30-day program. There is 0 sugar in here. It is literally just coconut and almonds. So great product. You can also use diet cheeses. So these are basically a vegan substitute for your cheese. Don't go into this expecting it to taste like real cheese, because it certainly doesn't, but it does impart a really great flavor, and their new formula does melt really, really well, so you can use both of those. I love to throw a handful of my cheddar into like a turkey meatloaf, and then I'll shred up a whole bunch of vegetables, and that's really great. And I'll actually put salsa up on top. You can have salsa, just watch out for sugar content, and then you can bake that. So we went over those things. Almond butter, so butters. You have to, we want to stay away from peanut butter just because peanuts are really acidic. So sunflower nut butter is really great. I love these packages because literally one of these is like a serving size for us. So I stock up when I did my 30-day, and I always tell the people that I coach, stock up on a handful of these because these are really easy to just have on you all the time. We went over vegetables and fruit. Eggs. You can eat eggs any way you want. They can be scrambled, they can be fried, you can make a frittata, you can make them hard boiled, you can make egg salad with an avocado or hummus. Really awesome ideas. 2 things that I would have had a really hard time giving up were pickles and olives, believe it or not. So you want to really make sure when you're shopping for pickles, you want to look for food dye, and you want to look for sugars. So for instance, this one is literally just vinegar, and it has cucumbers, water, red bell peppers, carrots, salt, distilled vinegar, garlic, and that's pretty much it. And then the same thing for your olives. You can do naturally cured or natural olives, so you can do black or green or Kalamata, anything like that. Condiments. You can do Frank's Red Hot. You can do mustard. You cannot do mayonnaise and no ketchup. And when you look for either hot sauce or mustard, again, you want to watch out for sugar. I always get the question, can you use onions? Yes, you can use onions, you can use garlic, you can use any oils to cook with. So you can use olive oil, you can use coconut oil, you can use sesame oil, you can use avocado oil, you can use any oils that you want. Same thing with vinegars, any vinegar that you want. You can use red wine vinegar, balsamic vinegar, coconut vinegar. This is a gluten-free soy sauce. So when you're making dinner, if you want to make like a stir fry, you can use this. Just make sure that you're not using it every day, obviously, because it has a high sodium concentration in there. But this is a gluten-free soy sauce. So you can use soy sauce every once in a while. Butters, great question. You can't use regular butter because there's no dairy during our first 30 days. However, these are 2 really great substitutes. This is Earth Balance, tastes a little bit more like butter. And then this is Melt. So they both use oils like organic palm kernel oil, they use coconut oil, and they use avocado oil and a couple other things, and they work really great. So you can use both of those as substitutes. And then the last thing that I always like to talk about are teas. So teas are really great. During your 30-day experience, you can have regular green tea and decaffeinated. So this happens to be a green tea kombucha, which is really great. The other tea that I love that is caffeinated, so this is a caffeinated tea, and then this is yerba mate. You can find this now in the regular grocery stores, and you can buy it bulk or you can buy it in tea bags. It comes from the inner bark of a rainforest tree and is really, really, really super high in antioxidant levels. So as we're starting to make these changes in your body, and we're balancing your cortisol, we're balancing your pH and things like that, your body can naturally get taxed or stressed just because we're doing so much work inside. So this is a really great support. And then the second thing that I really love this for is that if you do get constipated, this is a really, really great way to fix that problem. I brew it really strong, and I usually put like 2 tea bags in about 8 to 10 ounces of water and let it sit for a solid like 20 to 30 minutes, and then drink that, and within an hour or so, you should not have a constipation problem. So there's that guy. The other kinds of teas, you can have herbal teas all day, every day, so including your cleanse days. So I love to drink sweet rose tea on my cleanse days. It's just really, really calming and relaxing to our body. You can do Egyptian licorice. You can do any kind of herbal tea, really. But what you really want to look out for when you're looking at teas is something that we call natural flavors. So natural flavors, we really don't know what they are. We don't know if they are legitimately natural or if they are synthetically natural, if they were created or if they were actually extracted from the plant or the animal. So when you're looking at ingredients on anything, regardless of whether it's your food or your teas, you just want to make sure that you're looking for natural flavoring. Now this one on the back says natural tangerine flavor and organic cinnamon bark oil. So you know that the natural tangerine flavor is actually coming from the tangerine. If it just said natural flavoring, I would stay away from it. So that's your basic 30-day experience. Now, how do you package it and make it go? So the best way to do this is to have your almond butters packaged. So on a daily basis, if I was getting ready for work or getting ready for my day, I would take my lunch box. You're going to take your water with your straw and your rubber bands. I take my straw and put it in my bag so that it's ready. I would take 2 hard-boiled eggs and put them in a container. I'd take my vegetables and also put those in a container. I'd take my apple and my almond butter and an Ice of Delight. And I'd put that into my bag, along with your shake packet. So you're going to take a shake packet for lunch. And then I know that these are my allowable items during the day, and you can graze whenever you're hungry. So if you have your lunch or you have your breakfast shake at, let's say, 7 o'clock in the morning, if you're hungry again at 9 o'clock, you can either have half an apple, or you can eat your Ice of Delight, or you can have a hard-boiled egg, or you can have a couple pieces of veggies. And then if you're hungry again at 11, you can dig in and snack some more. Have your lunch shake, snack in the afternoon, and then you're going to make your fork and knife meal for dinner. Thanks so much, guys. I really am so happy that you were here and that we walked through your contents. I'm really excited for your Isogenics experience. And if you have any questions about anything, don't ever hesitate to reach out and ask your coach. Thanks so much. Enjoy.